He looked like a sad young man, and we wanted to be kind to him. When he moved into the house next to ours, my wife Emma said,
I think he's sad because he lives alone. I feel sorry for him.
"We live in a semi-detached house just outside a village. The house next to ours was empty for a long time until the young man moved in. He came in a van with a few pieces of furniture. After that, we didn't see him much. Sometimes he went for a walk in the country. And every day he walked to the village to do some shopping. He always walked because he didn't have a car.
Perhaps he's too poor to buy a car. Let's take him to the village tomorrow,"
said Emma. So, the next day, when he came out of the house to go shopping, I offered him a ride.
No, thank you. I prefer to walk,
he said. We were surprised. But it's over a mile to the village, I said. He smiled and replied,
I like walking.
Then he walked on.
He's just shy. Poor boy,
Emma said. So, we tried again. The next time he came out, we were waiting in the car. We told him we were going to the village and offered him a ride. He quickly looked away. Was he angry or just shy?
Thank you very much, but I prefer to walk,
he said, and then he walked on. Emma was surprised, but she kept thinking about how to help the young man.
He's very thin. I'm sure he doesn't eat good food. We must invite him to dinner,"
Emma said one evening. Emma and I enjoy good food. We eat a lot of butter, puddings, cream, and sweet things like cakes. We know this rich food can make us gain weight, but we like it. So, we're a bit overweight. The young man opened the door. Emma was right. He was thin. He looked at me in silence for a moment and then smiled.
Thank you. You're very kind, but I can only eat certain foods. I have a special diet.
What sort of diet?
Oh, fruit, vegetables, bread.
Are you a vegetarian?
Yes, I am.
My wife is a very good cook. She can make a delicious vegetarian dinner. Please come, I said. He looked away and said nothing. You must come. My wife will be very disappointed, I insisted. He thought for a moment.
Okay, I'll come,
he said. He didn't look very happy about it. But Emma was very happy. She cooked a wonderful vegetarian meal, but she put butter in the vegetables. She also made a big fruit pudding with lots of sugar and cream.
He must eat some real food,
she said. That evening, we learnt the young man's name, Patrick. He didn't talk much, but we also learnt that he was 27. He couldn't find a job and didn't have much money. His parents were dead, and he had no brothers or sisters. We felt sorry for him. He didn't eat much that evening. He said he wasn't hungry. Emma was a little offended.
I cooked all that terrible vegetarian food for him, and he left it on his plate. And he didn't drink any wine either.
Yes, Emma was a bit angry, but she quickly forgot about it. Then she began to think about Patrick again.
Poor boy. He's all alone in that house. He hasn't got any friends, and he hasn't got a girlfriend. It's terrible. What does he do all evening?
She said, and looked at me sadly. He watches television like us. Suddenly, she had an idea.
We must invite him to come and watch television with us. That will cheer him up.
I think he likes to be alone, Emma. He's a quiet person, I said.
But he isn't happy. I can see it.
she replied. How? He doesn't speak or laugh much, but I think he's happy.
Well, I say he isn't happy, Max. You must go and bring him here this evening. I want him to be happy.
So I went out into the cold, wet night and knocked on Patrick's door. Would you like to come at our place? I asked. He smiled.
Why?
Oh, we can watch television and have a bit of food. He suddenly looked frightened.
No, not television. I never watch it.
His face was very white. Now I was really surprised. Well, perhaps you want some company,
I like my own company.
he said, and he shut the door quickly. When I told Emma, she was very angry.
Who does he think he is? We only want to be kind to him.
At 3 o'clock the next morning, she woke me up and she cried, with a big, happy smile on her face.
Hey, Max. Wake up. I've got a great idea. We'll have a big party with all our friends and relatives. We'll tell Patrick that there will be a lot of noise and invite him to come.
I didn't like the idea. I'm not going to invite him this time. Good night, dear. So Emma invited Patrick to the party. He couldn't say no, poor boy, but Emma told him he had to come, and he came. I could see he wasn't happy. There was loud music and dancing, lots of delicious, fattening food, cigarette smoke, and bottles of alcoholic drink. Our friends and relatives are all very kind, and they pushed plates of food and glasses of drink in front of Patrick's nose, and he couldn't say no. When I saw him about midnight, he looked terrible. His face was white with panic. People were shouting, singing, and dancing all around him. He couldn't escape. Then, about 10 minutes later, he wasn't there. Where's Patrick? I asked Emma.
Oh, he had to go. He said he wasn't feeling well. What a pity. He was enjoying the party so much,
she replied. A few nights later, there was a knock at the door. When I opened it, I couldn't believe my eyes. It was Patrick. He was standing in the wind and rain. He was as white as a sheet, and his eyes were dark and strange.
Could you phone a doctor? I'm not feeling well.
He said in a quiet voice. I told him to come in and sit down. While I phoned, Emma made a cup of tea. Then she sat on the sofa with Patrick. She was happy again.
What's the matter?
She asked.
I feel hot. I've got a headache, and my heart is beating fast.
Oh, you poor thing.
Emma said softly. Dr. Jameson arrived soon and examined Patrick. He said,
You've got a fever, and your heartbeat is not regular. You must rest. Stay in bed for a few days. Relax and eat plenty of good food. Here's some medicine for the fever.
At the door, he said to me,
It may be a virus or perhaps an allergy. If he isn't better in a few days, call me.
Of course, Emma was really happy. She wanted Patrick to sleep in our house, but he said no. He wanted to go back to his house. So we took him next door and put him to bed. Now we could see inside the house for the first time. and we were amazed. He had tables, chairs, a sofa, and armchair, carpets, bookcases, pictures, cupboards, etc. But there was no television set, no video recorder, no phone, no computer, no telephone. There was nothing modern, not even electric lights. He had big candles in all the rooms. He took the medicine and quickly fell asleep,
I'm going to stay here and look after him.
said Emma.
Oh, look at this place. The poor boy hasn't got enough money to buy a television. Let's get our old TV set. He can watch it in bed.
But Emma, he doesn't like TV. But she wasn't listening to me. I knew why she was doing these strange things. We haven't got any children, and she wanted to give Patrick all the kindness of a mother. When he woke up and saw the TV at the end of the bed, he looked frightened. He tried to move and speak, but he was weak.
The doctor said you must rest, so be a good boy. Relax and watch TV. There's a quiz show and then cartoons, then a comedy show, a soap opera, and an old film. A horror, I think,
Smiled Emma. She made his pillow comfortable and pulled the bedclothes tight. He couldn't move. He looked at the TV with great, frightened eyes, like a rabbit in front of a snake.
Are you hungry, Patrick?
Said Emma. He tried to move his head, but it was difficult.
Good. You look so white and thin. You need some real food.
Patrick tried to shake his head. There was terror in his eyes.
No, I won't listen to you, Patrick. You're going to eat and eat and eat. Then you'll get big and strong.
Emma cooked some corn chicken soup and eggs and toast with lots of butter.
Come on, don't be naughty, Patrick. Open your mouth. That's right. Eat up.
And Emma began to push the food into his mouth. She stayed with Patrick for 8 days and nights. She slept in the next room. She got a mobile phone for emergencies, but she called lots of friends and relatives and asked them to come and visit Patrick. The phone was always ringing. People came and went, and it was very noisy. Then she brought an old radio cassette player from our house, and Patrick had to listen to music or radio programs. She even decided to hire a video recorder. Patrick was Emma's prisoner. He did everything she wanted. For 8 days, he stayed in bed and watched TV and video films, or listened to loud music and the talk of visitors. His eyes were like glass, and his face had no expression. He was like a zombie. Emma cooked him 3 big meals a day, and he began to get fat. But he didn't get better. After 10 days, he was very weak. He didn't move, and he didn't speak. He only looked in front of him.
Why doesn't he get better?
Emma asked Dr. Jameson.
It's strange. He looks better. He isn't thin and white now. Has he been eating well?
Oh, yes, lots and lots of good food.
The fever has gone down, but his heart is still bad. I can't understand it. Look at his eyes. They look strange. Perhaps he's asleep.
Oh, what shall we do, doctor?
Emma cried.
Well, we can't take him to the hospital. There aren't any free beds. We'll have to wait a few days. Perhaps I'll contact one of my colleagues in London. Call me if there's any change.
There was a change. 2 days later, a man came at our house. He was tall and strong, with a thick black beard and a red face.
My name is Dr. Spencer Stone,
He said in a loud voice. He had a British accent.
I am a good friend and colleague of Dr. Jameson. He phoned me yesterday about the mysterious illness of his patient Patrick Jeffries. I had a patient in London with a similar condition. Is Mr. Jeffries getting better?
No, he's becoming a vegetable, I said.
A vegetable?
Yes, vegetables aren't very lively, are they? I replied. Do you know what's the matter with Patrick?
Not exactly. But if my analysis is correct, it may be a new illness that has appeared only in the 20th century. We don't know much about it, but we have found that emissions from electronic objects like televisions, computers, videos, mobile phones, etc., probably cause it. It seems that the waves from these machines are not good for the brain and nerves. They change or disturb the electrical functions, but we don't know precisely how or why. There is fever and rapid heartbeats. The patient gradually passes into a coma.
Like a vegetable?
Yes. One strange symptom is the patient wants to eat and drink a lot, usually fattening foods. You know, all the things that we eat today. So the patient becomes fat. We don't know why people need to eat a lot. Perhaps there are psychological causes. Nobody has done any experiments and nobody has written a scientific study. But we know the final result of the illness. The patient will die.
At that moment, there was a long, terrible scream from next door. Dr. Stone and I ran out of the house. Emma was coming out of Patrick's house crying. When I asked her what was wrong, she couldn't answer. I put my arms around her, and the doctor went into Patrick's house. A few minutes later, he came out and said,
He's dead. I found this under the pillow.
It was an envelope. I opened it and found a letter inside. I read it out loud to others. I'm going to die soon, and I know that it's the 20th century that's killing me. 10 years ago, when I was 17, I was a very different person. I lived like a typical teenager. I went to discos with my friends every evening. I listened to loud music, watched a lot of TV and videos, and enjoyed computer games. I was always talking on the phone. Then something happened. I began to feel ill. I had bad headaches. My heartbeat was fast. Sometimes I felt dizzy. I often had a fever. I couldn't do my schoolwork. I didn't know why I was ill. I went to a doctor, but he didn't know either. He said perhaps it was my lifestyle. I thought a lot about this. It was true that I never walked. I went everywhere by car. It was true that I drank a lot of alcohol and ate bad food. It was true that I watched a lot of stupid TV programs, game shows, talk shows, and hundreds of bad films. It was true that my ears weren't good because the music in the discos was very loud. It was true that I sat for hours in front of my computer. And it was true that I had started doing all these things when I was very young, about 13. I took a lot of pills and medicine, but I didn't get better. I became fat and very lazy. I never went out, except in the car. At weekends, I sat in front of the TV all day or listened to music, and I ate and drank and ate. I lived like a zombie. I never used my brain. It was full of the rubbish from TV programs, silly songs, and terrible films. I became very weak and very ill with a temperature and heart problems. Then suddenly I understood. One day I had a little accident in the car and hit my head. It wasn't serious, But my mind became clear, and I saw everything. I saw that the 20th century was slowly killing me. So I changed my lifestyle. I stopped living like a zombie. It was very difficult. My lifestyle was a habit, a very dangerous habit, like taking drugs. Life at the end of the 20th century was killing my mind and my body. So I began to walk everywhere. I didn't watch TV or listen to stupid music. I sold my computer and my video recorder. I didn't go to discos. I stopped eating bad food and drinking too much alcohol. And I lost all my friends too. But the 20th century was everywhere. It was too strong, and I had to escape from it. So I came here to the country. But I couldn't escape. The 20th century is too strong. I can't fight it. I know I'm going to die soon. Goodbye, Patrick Jeffries. When I finished, Dr. Spencer Stone said sadly,
So now we know that this is an illness of the mind caused by living in the 20th century. Can I take this letter with me, please? I want to write a report about Patrick's case and publish it. Then all the world will know.
But before the doctor could finish, poor Emma fell to the ground with a strange cry. Dr. Spencer Stone examined her, then looked at me.
She has got a fever. Her heartbeat is very fast.
He shook his head sadly.